Welcome to my new weekly report on the world of crypto. It's going to focus in on the technical analysis side, but also going to look at some other indicators, other sentiment tools to throw up new possible assets to trade and look at some of the more popular cryptos at the time to give us an idea of where things could be heading next. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It all helps. And if you want me to look at any crypto assets in particular, put that in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. So with that, let's crack on. Hello, I'm Stephen Hode, trader and founder of TheStopHunter. So before we can carry on, a risk warning for you to pay close attention to. The content in this video is not investment advice, so please seek the advice, help of financial professionals or financial advisors before investing and trading. And trading and investing involves a high degree of risk and your money is at risk, so be very careful. So with that out the way, let's get on with the analysis. So this week I'm going to look at 5 of the big boys of the world of cryptocurrencies. We're going to focus in on the technicals and then, but before that I'm going to take you through a few websites that I look at to sort of hone my crypto trading into the right assets and to look for new ideas and new emerging cryptos that I think could be worth further investigation. So let's have a look at those first. Now my first port of call is normally from a website by blockchaincenter.net, and that's to find out whether it's altcoin season or not, and that's relevant to me because I like to know what assets to put my money into and what are going to have the best bang for their buck. If Bitcoin's more prevalent at the time, then I'm going to focus more on that, and if it becomes more altcoin season, I'm going to switch maybe out of Bitcoin towards other assets. And this website does a great graph on what season it is. You can pick by season, month or year, but I like to use the season. As you can see at the moment we are heading towards altcoin season. We've got 63 score. It's got to get up to 75 to be officially the altcoin season according to metrics here. Now if you're trading this, then maybe the time to get in is as it breaks up from 25 upwards. That's why I sometimes look to, because then you might get better value in assets. But as it moves further and further up in score, then you want to put more and more your money into altcoins. So at the moment that's the focus, moving more into altcoin season. Second up is this site called CoinMarketcal.com, and I'm there to look at what's trending, and they do a good overview of what's going on today. We can see that, for example, Polkadot is very popular. It's trending, it's significant, it's hot. They categorize these different areas and they give you some coins with potential down the bottom, but in terms of the major assets there, Polkadot, VeChain, Solana, so they're ones, and you've got ADA here, all with potential to be moving due to many various reasons. You can drill into these to find out more about them, but again those ones will then hit my radar for further analysis. Now, as we are all aware, social media plays a huge importance to the crypto environment, and this great site by some people called Lunar Crush actually come up with their own metrics to score how social media is influencing the prices of different assets, how they correlate to each other, and gives them their own, like I say, unique ranking. And we can see the Galaxy score is I suppose the prevalent one I look at to start with, and obviously the higher the number, the more bullish we're looking at. And normally I'm more interested in the 75-80 sort of scores. At the moment, as of today, not too much happening. Moon River up the top there is most popular. I'd also say have a look at the market cap column, which you can set up, and obviously the higher the market cap and also the volume there to the right, the easier it will be to trade these. So maybe if you're new to cryptos, look for assets greater than maybe 200 million in daily volume and a market cap over $1 billion. And if we were to do that, then pancake swap there, 4.61 billion market cap. Could maybe think about scale there, low volume. Anything else? We got Altcoin here, 1.5 market cap, but not too much volume. So again, it's another look at what's happening, what's moving, to give me further trading ideas. So the one I'd probably take away most from that is pancake swap. So lastly, I like to look at a site called CoinMarketCap.com, one of the more popular out there, and I just bring up the list of cryptocurrencies. I'm using this to find emerging projects, emerging ideas. So I've sorted it by market cap, and I'm not interested in these big boys. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to look for the smaller market cap size, maybe 200 million to 100 million, around that sort of area. Sometimes a bit bigger, sometimes a bit smaller. And here's a very interesting one, Engine Coin, that I'm focusing on at the moment, due to the gaming side of crypto and how the metaverse and how that can take off. So that's one for your radar. But we scroll down, maybe take it to page 4, and you start to see the market cap shrinking, and you see what's going on. And actually you can see how they've been forming the last 7 days. And another one related to gaming is this Smooth Love Potion, very strangely named but catchy all the same, and I think that's one that I'm going to dig into a bit more, again like I say, because of the gaming aspect of it. And market cap just under 200 million. There's some good volume there, and again, if you want to find out more from the website, just click into it and you can see how the price has rocketed off, and you can also dig into, as you scroll down, more data about what it's all about, how it's been performing, and what markets you can trade it on. So that's the 4 websites that I look at. They're all free, and very useful information to help you hone in on like I say, ideas, trends, social media, all the things that can influence what's going on at the moment. Also very good for posting news stories as well, also about what's going on. You can also probably find the news in your exchange, but all very useful for refining in, like I said before, then taking it onto the next stage in my world, which is then applying it to technical analysis, which gets us into entry and exit of trades, and that trade management and the actual nitty-gritty of doing the trading business. So I've set things up slightly differently from my normal chart of the day videos, if you are familiar with them. We've got one asset on the page here, and we've got on the left we've got a Renko chart with some indicators, and on the right we've got Heikin-Ashi chart with some indicators. Remember that I don't use time frames in the Renko, and the Heikin-Ashi chart is set to daily, so it's going to give us an overall view of what's going on into the short to medium term in the asset that we're looking at. And our first one here is Bitcoin. I've got a block size of $800 on the Renko chart. At the bottom there I've got modified stochastic to give me conditions of overbought and oversold levels, and I'm looking, if you want to know how to buy the dips, then I'll use that to sort of maybe guide me in. I've got a Donchian breakout system on the chart, and that's combined with another block breakout system, which is those buys and sell signals. So I'm looking for the combination of those two for entry, and whether it's above or below the moving averages. And we focus on that Renko chart now. It's all gone pretty neutral. We had that run up from early October, gone neutral, but we've got support coming in, you know, 56,000 maybe, around that sort of number, and it's created that base, and it could be teeing itself up nicely for a further move upwards. At the moment the signals and everything is saying stay out, wait. But if we move over to the Heikin-Ashi chart, we've got our regression signal there at the bottom, that's bullish. We've got again the modified stochastic, pretty neutral. Volatility falling off, volume above that, also nothing too special at the moment. But if we focus in on the price chart, then you see the dotted lines are auto Fibonacci lines, and what I'm looking for is pullbacks again to buy the dips between that red and grey bands in the middle. That's the 38.2 to 61.8 Fibonacci lines. And I also add on top of that a trend regression, trend Fibonacci setup, and I've used the recent October uptrend to create some actual specific numbers on there for you. And you can see where the price has been holding around that 61,000 area at the moment. If we can break up back above the 66, 67 mark, then 74 to 77, not out of the question. Further downsides for a bigger pullback could, like I said, look at those red dotted lines around about 52, 53,000 could be a more significant pullback, and there's been historic support back in sort of mid-September, those highs that might just support that theory. But overall I would say it's neutral at the moment, but maybe teeing itself up for a further move upwards. I had to cover off the two big boys, Bitcoin and Ethereum, for this first report, only because they're the fundamental drivers of the whole market at the moment. Now, Ethereum, I've used a $50 block size on the Renko chart. Stochastics down there at the bottom, pulling back, sort of weak bearish into mid territory at the moment. So looking for a potential turnaround there to buy the dip price. No signals at the moment, sitting between the bands. So pretty neutral there, and sitting above the longer term moving average. So Renko overall pretty neutral at the moment. Going over to the Heikin-Ashi chart, then signals a bit more bullish. Volume and volatility again nothing special. Price still driving up towards all-time highs, 4,600 and just above. If it can keep on going, then next target really is the 5,100 area. Then we could even see 5,700 within no time at all. A pullback again, focusing on those red bands. There's a long way down. That's 3,500 to just under 3,000. But in terms of the trend pullback, which we saw, I've generated those Fibonacci numbers from the October uptrend. 3,940, 4,000 could be the support area in the first instance. A bigger pullback, like I said, then it's really back to about 3,500. But it's again just holding off in terms of price, but still looking pretty bullish, and we are moving more into altcoin season. And there's other things going on with Ethereum that could drive that price on higher. Now, Cardano ADA has been really frustrating over the last month or so. Go back to September and it was the talk of the town, and it was going to keep rocketing up in terms of price. It got to just over 3, and then really has pulled back and struggled ever since. And you would have thought that it had more upside in it. And if we go straight to the Heikin-Ashi chart on the right there this time, it's into that pullback zone right on the 50% area. So is this a consolidation to move higher? It's tricky to tell. Like I say, if we can break up above 2.2, 2.27, that 61.8 line, then it's going to have to look at those highs back at 3 again, and then possibly 3.6, 3.8 to the upside. But it could still move further down to 1.7, 1.8 area. But it does look like it's gone a bit flat and stale, and I don't know what it's going to have to do to get a bit more interesting. But it's very frustrating because you can see that huge run up 100% of gains in that month of August and through into September. So got the potential, but it's not doing much at the moment, so it's still pretty neutral. As we saw from our earlier website analysis, Polkadot could be one to keep an eye on. There's a lot of interest there at the moment, and the price has been performing very nicely. Focusing on the Heikin-Ashi, all signals bullish at the moment. Volume and volatility just picking up a little bit, just running a bit above their longer term moving average. If we look onto the price directly, then if we go back to September time, it had that pull back into that sort of zone of neutrality where it was thinking where to go next, and then October saw a great run up to highs around 54, 55, and it's keeping on going at the moment. And if we go over to the Renko chart, we've got stochastics that are pushing on upwards, and they can stay up in those overbought territories for quite a while, so there's nothing to panic about. Obviously the best timings are in the lower breaks below the 20 line on the stochastics to buy that dip, but we have actually got a breakout of the price above the bands there, and we got a buy signal and it's above the moving average, so overall still bullish on Polkadot. So our final crypto asset this week is Shiba Inu. It's been the talk of the town over October. Meteoric rises up to new highs, but in the last week or so it's pulled off. Maybe there's a profit taking there, a bit of consolidation in the price, and on the Heikin-Ashi you can see it pulling back to that red dotted line, which is the first area of resistance and the bands we look for to maybe buy that dip situation again. It's not there because if we go down to the stochastics, that's still in that reddy pink zone. We need it to get below there before we get interested. The regression line at the bottom has gone negative as well, so it's a good start. Volume still picking up way over 200% per annum, and volume though under its longer term moving average. And if we flip over to the Renko chart, we can see the stochastics at the bottom again in neutral zone, and the price just pulling off. We had a recent short-term sell area which then has evaporated into a more neutral price setup. Like I said, it's in between those bands and below the moving average at the moment. So I would say it's a sit and wait on Shiba Inu to see where it moves next. It could potentially pull down way to 0 point, and then we've got probably 4 noughts and a 4, that sort of area, possibly before it consolidates further. So it's a critical stage of where it could head next. But again, use those technicals to time your way in. At the moment I would say it's a neutral, weak, bearish outlook at the moment. So from our website analysis earlier, we've got 3 assets that you could potentially look at. That was PancakeSwap, it was Engine Coin, and Smooth Love Potion. And if we go on to our technical analysis, then we have Bitcoin, which was probably neutral bullish. We had Ethereum still bullish. We had Polkadot, which was very bullish, and maybe Shiba Inu maybe a bit more neutral, maybe consolidating and seeing where it's going next. And Cardano ADA, well, that's a tricky one. Potential for upside there, but looking very stale and giving a neutral overall. So if you liked today's analysis and got any opinions on what I've put out there today, where you think the prices are heading next in any of those assets, or you've got some other great tips you want to share with us, put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if there's anything else you want me to look at, like I said earlier, for next week's video, then let me know there. Also, if you want to know more about the technical analysis I've used in the video today, I'll put a link in the description below for you to follow. And if you've liked today's video, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell button to receive future notification of content I'm going to produce just like this. And all that's left for me to say is thanks for watching, Good luck with the trading, and I'll see you in the next video.